Thank you, dear Chair. Thank you, Your Excellencies, and all distinguished members of the Senate and House. You know, I have a mixed feelings now. I want to be frank with you. We are listening, we are speaking now, and it sounds like everything is good. But this early morning, in my native Odessa, which I represent, there was an air attack, missile attack, and 18 people were killed. 18 civilians, including children. Just civilians from a residential building. I also came back from Madrid just. I've been to summit and was the only Ukrainian MP to be there. And when I was in Madrid, my wife and my 4-year-old son were calling me saying, we have a new attack, new signal of attack, new attack, because they are in Odessa now. I want to tell you that the situation is very difficult. You are saying that, and I absolutely agree that the Black Sea today is a battlefield and is the center of, I can say, of the world. Because that is an epicenter, like you said, vortex, yes. But if we are saying this, we should say next thing. Odessa is the biggest city on the Black Sea. So Odessa is the center of everything which is going on. And it's a very pity we can't just meet in Odessa today, it's for sure, for security reasons, but I hope that next year we'll be happy to welcome you in Odessa, so distinguished guests. But we need to do something to change the situation. And we need to make courageous steps. Be brave like Ukraine. That's what I want to tell. I just want, diplomacy is very good. But what would be diplomacy if Ukraine would fail in 4 days, like it was predicted by many? And now Russian forces will be on the border with Romania, with Moldova, with Poland, with other countries, and will go further. And today Russia, we haven't stopped Russians on the Donbas. Yes, we kicked off them from Kiev, we kicked off them from Kharkiv, we secure Odessa, we took back Serpent Island, which is very important, but still they're advancing in the east of our country. I'm not professional military. I just, for 3 weeks after the invasion, I took weapons in my hands and was in the Territorial Defense Battalion guarding a Ukrainian parliament. It's in Ukraine, you should guard your parliament if you want to vote there. You know, and after Russians were kicked off from Kiev, I came back to my parliamentary duties. But here are people who understand me. Corporal Gallego, Lieutenant Colonel Pfluger, Colonel Wilson, representatives honored. You understand, when Russia 2 days ago shelled 45,000 shells and rockets just in Donbas. Heavy shells and heavy rockets, 45,000. It's absolutely unbelievable number of artillery they concentrated. And the situation is difficult. So what I want to tell, Black Sea today is very important, the most important place in the world, I agree. So we need here strong military presence of NATO and first of all of the United States. And I believe yet that, yes, fighters, carriers and destroyers are making difference. And I want to see American ships in Odessa today. That is something which can make difference. And I want to see, I am absolutely happy with NATO Madrid summit, revitalization of NATO, uniting of free world. That is a uniting of free world. That is not only about Finland and Sweden. For the first time in history, Japan came to the summit. It was South Korea. It was Australia, New Zealand. We see as the whole free world is uniting. And it's right. Because if Putin would be successful today, the international security would be over. And we will live in wild jungles with a bear, with a tiger, which are hunting for peaceful nations and maybe other predators. And that is so awful and that is so dangerous. But I would be even more happy if on Madrid summit there would be a decision about some humanitarian mission in Black Sea to take out Ukrainian grains. We need this, we want to feed people. 400 million people in the world are dependent from calories from Ukrainian crops. 400 million. It's almost the whole population of the European Union. Just imagine. And we can't feed them today. We won't and can't, because Putin took them as a terrorist. He took them as hostages. So I'm sure that we need to show strength. It's very good that finally free world is uniting. There is no divisions, but also it should be strength showed to such dictators as Putin. And the first place where it should be done, it is in the Black Sea, absolutely on humanitarian reasons, to save millions of people today. Because thousands are killed in Ukraine, but millions will die from starving. And what will be in Egypt, which is for 80% dependent on wheat from Ukraine and Russia? Just imagine, for a 100 million population state, what will be tomorrow? So we need to make courageous steps today. And I'm finishing. Military steps can be clear. There is Major General, others who can say more about military things. But I believe, again, convoys, strong NATO presence, American fleet in the Black Sea, that's what we are waiting for. But speaking about diplomatic things, again, Black Sea is the vortex. But Russia is continuing to use Black Sea to export their oil. Every day, millions of barrels of Russian oil is crossing Bosphorus. Why shouldn't we say to Russians, either both Ukrainian grain is crossing and your oil, or nothing is crossing? Why are you using Bosphorus? Why are you using Black Sea to sell your oil while you took millions of people as hostages like a food terrorist? I think that is something that should be changed. When Russia is receiving $1 billion per day for fossil fuel, this war can last forever. So that's why I am very much thankful to all of you for your coming to Black Sea, to meet in Constanza, for possibility to speak with you today. And I ask you, I beg you to make courageous steps, to make steps which will show the aggressor. Aggressor understands only force. Which, when we are speaking about provocation, the only thing that provokes aggressor is weakness. So let's be strong, let's show it to them, and let's see how we can solve as hard problems as we have today in Black Sea. Thank you so much.
Thank you.